Hello!
Hello, AOS fans!
It's the agents of Shatterpoint.
I think this is kind of our first post-game video of Shatterpoint.
It is, yeah.
Very exciting.
We've both played some games now, and off of the back of those games, we've got
6 easy mistakes to make in Shatterpoint. It's fair to say, if anybody's going to make mistakes, it's us. And I am slightly nervous about making this video because I'm not sure that we won't make mistakes in the mistakes.
It's like, no, not only have you got it wrong, but you've also got your summary of the correction wrong as well.
But the best thing about it is it all drives the algorithm.
It does, so if we're wrong, leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
Anyway, should we go through our 6 easy mistakes to make?
Let's go through those 6 easy mistakes.
So the first one is, and it's a bit of a cheat really, because I'm not even sure it's a mistake we actually made, but it's just very tempting.
It is very tempting.
And that is that combat successes don't directly equate to damage.
No. So you might roll 6 successes and your opponent gets 3 successes, and you're like, oh, 6 minus 3 is 3 damage. But it's not.
No, because it just feels like it's just about every game you've ever played.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's not. You have to try and find the chart. And it's actually much better. You go and find the chart and you can do some damage, you might even do more, because you get 2 damage pips on it, but you can do pushes and abilities and all sorts of things. So it's like a really easy accidental mistake to make, just to fall into, because you're so used to playing games in like, my number of successes equals wounds.
And to segue into the second point, damage does not equate to wounding. If you take damage, you're not wounded, you're damaged.
Yeah, it's a really, really key point, because a lot of abilities trigger off when things are wounded.
Yes.
And it's much, much harder to wound something than it is to damage it. And I think most of the time we got that right, except when we were having a quick test game with Ahsoka. She was rock hard. That was basically because every time she was damaged, or one of my fighters was damaged, I was doing her super duper brilliant ability.
Yeah.
So it's when she's wounded, which is obviously when all of your stamina is reduced to 0.
Yes.
And you get a little token.
And you effectively have like maybe 2 or 3 lives, but once you lose one of those lives by taking the amount of damage applicable, which might be 8 damage, that's when you're wounded, but not when you just take some damage.
Okay, so number 3 is something that Pete asked me at the beginning of every game, which is whether his abilities count as actions.
Oh, actions.
And they don't, unless it says that they do.
Yes. But
none of them do so far, as far as I'm aware. Certainly in the core set, none of them are. So basically, if you've got your list of abilities, any of those that you do, particularly the active ones at the beginning, that doesn't take up an action slot. So you still get 2 other action slots to do on top of any abilities that you do.
And they're the generic ones that everyone can do, like move and shoot and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think they're called move action and combat action, recover action.
Recover action and also focus.
4 that we can remember.
Yeah. Now number 4.
So conversely to number 3, the extra advances and dashes and things and jumps that you do off an ability, they don't count as a move action. So you have your move actions and you can do these things, and they are a move action, obviously. But if you have an ability, or somebody else has an ability that triggers it, and you do an extra advance, that isn't a move action. So you might do your move action first, and then you might activate an ability which triggers another advance. That advance doesn't trigger something that triggers off a move action.
Yes, if you've got an ability that is after a move, you may do this thing.
Yeah,
you can't use that after that special one, and that's a hard one to get your head around. I think that's probably one of the more common ones that might cause
particularly since it just has the logo. So you're almost like, oh, well, that's an advance, that's a move, so that triggers it. And I know a lot of people in the comments before the game even started, people were saying, "Oh, well, this is really good."
End up with infinite moves,
you
or
can basically
like
chain. There's, I think, with the Mandalorians in particular, because they have it looks like you can chain stuff, but you can't, because they're the extra.
It doesn't trigger the other ones.
The actual physical movement of the model isn't actually a move action.
Yeah, and there's ones where you get an extra 5 dice attack, but that's not a regular attack.
It's not a combat action.
It's not a combat action, it's just an attack. But it can be affected by things that give you extra dice for your attack, which is just another little head screw there.
Yeah, well, that's because they affect the attacks and not the combat action. If there was something that gave you an extra dice on your combat action,
then it wouldn't count.
Then it wouldn't count.
And I think that's the thing you've got to get in your mind, that an attack triggered off an ability isn't a combat action.
That's right, yeah.
Although they kind of look and smell the same.
And that is a bit of a problem with Shatterpoint, generally. A lot of things look and smell the same.
Yeah, but they're very, very different.
They're actually different, yeah.
And number 5, active and reactive abilities can only be used once.
Yeah, once per turn.
Once per turn, and not again, which can be very easy to forget and get carried away with, especially when your combat tree makes you, or gives you the option to do those things again. And if you've already done it, and then you're like, right, now I've rolled my dice and I can go up this way and I'm going to do some damage, I'm going to do this ability again, but you can't.
Yeah, it just has a little icon on it which says you can do one of your active abilities again. And it's very easy to think, oh, I can do an
Just
active
can't
ability
do it.
again and just pick another one. But you can't, if you've already done one,
Yeah.
you cannot do that one again. So if you've got 2, you're fine, because you can
Yeah.
do the other one. But if you've only got 1, you've already used it, then
you're out of luck.
So number 6 is that conditions can be added after a unit is wounded.
Yeah.
And this is really counterintuitive to me, because even in like MCP, I think basically once they were dazed, you couldn't do anything
That was it.
to
They
them.
were just like out of it.
You can't add more damage to a character that's been wounded, but you can say add a condition. So if you do attack them for some reason, then you get the combat tree, you can pin them further down. Because when they become injured and you flip the token from wounded to the injured side, you also remove a condition. So the more conditions you can pile on after the fact, the less useful they're going to be when they do actually come back into the fray. Similarly, you can shove them out of the way so that when they come back in, they're off the objective. You can also, conversely, use your abilities to move your own fighters into more advantageous positions, which I don't think occurred to me at first. I think I was thinking, well, they're wounded, so I can't do anything with them, so I won't choose them for my extra dash action or whatever.
But you might find that actually once they become injured from wounded, then they might be in a better position to then capitalise on things.
Exactly. So effectively, you can pile misery upon them if you're playing against them, but you can also help them out if they're on your team.
So there you go. There are 6 things that we think are probably quite common and easy mistakes to make in Shatterpoint.
So we certainly made them, and we'll probably make them again.
Oh yes.
But I hope you found it useful. Do let us know if there's any things that you kind of missed or particularly find difficult to get your head around, and we'll maybe do a bit of video about that. And if you do like this content, we haven't made very many Shatterpoint videos yet, so please do like and subscribe and send us some feedback, because we do want to make more, and it's always good to have a dialogue between us and the people who are watching.
So we'll see you soon in a galaxy far, far away.